you are a former gymnast, so you have to tell the people about your history here and what are the twisties like? I would imagine you have some sort of experience in this area.
Yeah, I do. Chelsa, first and foremost, coming in hot at 8:20 in the morning talking about keeping up. I always look
Put up for hours.
Introduce me, because I really never know which direction we're heading, and it's a total surprise. And I do enjoy like a really solid story at 8:20 on a Thursday morning. So thanks for having me on. Super excited to be back. I was surprised to see the news that Simone Biles was going to make another run. I guess that was the plan the entire time, but what we saw from the last Olympics was traumatizing for her. And I feel like during the time when this was happening, I was living in Oklahoma, and because you guys know, you pay your dues, right? You go from small market to small market. Eventually you get to where you want to be, which is where I am right now in DC. But when I was living in Oklahoma and sports talk radio is predominantly just like a middle-aged man who has no idea, but does not lack opinions about gymnastics and gymnasts and the twisties, right? So I couldn't believe like what I was hearing on the radio from some of these guys, but I felt like the biggest misconception was the combination of the term mental health and the twisties, because that was kind of what was thrown around, because the two are very, very different. So because they can correlate doesn't necessarily mean they're the same thing. The twisties are the most terrifying thing I have ever gone through. I got the twisties when I was probably like 14, 15 years old. And mind you, I am doing nothing compared to what Simone Biles is doing, but it's still really, really scary. And it took me months to overcome. And I had a really great coach at the time who I was working on a triple twist on the floor exercise. So tumbling, you're flipping once, you're twisting 3 times fully around, and I would get lost. So my coach, every single day for hours, and I had a foam pit, thank God. I could like open up and it was okay. I didn't know where I was. He would clap as loud as he could, and then it would just mean open. And it took me months to overcome that in the safety of a practice gym, in a foam pit. I could not believe the, I guess, negativity surrounding Simone Biles for having the twisties when there's no safety net. You are landing on a hard mat. You don't know up from down, right from left. Like, she could have broken her neck. And so because of that, she pulled out. That was a safety issue. You don't overcome the twisties in a matter of hours, days, weeks in the Olympic Games. So there's a lot of pressure surrounding her. She's the best gymnast to ever do it. So I hated the negativity surrounding it. It's the scariest thing I've ever had to go through in my entire life, because it really feels like you have no control over something that you've had control over for 20 years, a couple decades as a gymnast. So yeah, it's the scariest thing. She's the best to ever do it. So I'm excited for her to make, or at least try to make a comeback. But what we've seen from older gymnasts as of late try to go for another Olympic Games has not been the easiest path. Like, if you were to look up Nastia Liukin in 2012, after she won the Olympics in 2008, just Google her name, 2012, coming back for the Olympics, all you're going to see is a video of her falling flat on her face. Like, the image is amazing, because it's hard to go that much longer when you're that old. Like, I peaked when I was 14. It was downhill for me since. So I'm no Simone Biles, but she has a long road to get back to where she was.
You look at the favorites, and I got to look at Ricky Fowler. And especially if you don't even like to play outrights like I don't, Ricky Fowler to finish in the top 10 is plus 180. I think that's where I'm going to go. Or even if you liked Ricky Fowler to finish in the top 20, that is, I believe, minus 110. Ricky Fowler is having a hell of a season. And I know people are looking at like the last few tournaments and saying, whoa, that came out of nowhere. This guy has 13 top 20s in this calendar season, starting back in, or I guess it would be this golf season, starting back in September. So Ricky Fowler has been swinging it really well. We know that Rocket Mortgage is one of his sponsors, so they would love to see him do really well here. And also, he's played this course pretty well before, was a T12 back in 2020. So the way that the golf game is going for Ricky Fowler, I want to root for this guy, and I think I'm going to do it with a little bit of my own money.
Oh, I like it. I like Ricky Fowler. Love the way he's playing right now. I wonder if the fix is going to be in, because this is his big sponsor. Maybe he hits a putt and the ball just hangs right there on the hole for like 20 seconds, and all of a sudden something happens to the green and bloop, drops in Ricky Fowler winning the Rocket Mortgage Classic. He's such a great story, and I'm rooting for Ricky Fowler. I would love to see him because he's been putting so well. He says that getting that new putter, which has been talked about quite a bit, just has changed his game. He said he feels like it's cheating. I'm gonna go with Tony Finau, and he's the defending champion here. I know it's sort of a lame pick, but he clearly knows this course. He has 2 wins already this season, 11 top 25 finishes in 18 events. This is already a watered-down field, and it's a BetQL 5-star best bet. I can't believe it that I'm rolling with the donkster here, but Tony Finau certainly is as good as anyone in this field because I don't want to say maybe watered down is an exaggeration, but certainly not all of the big names are here. But Tony Finau is always in the mix, so I'm going to take a shot on him at 12-1. This performance, Chelsea, comes out of nowhere, but what an outing by Herman out west.
Man, when you see something like this, you got to cherish it. It's the first perfect game since 2012. These things do not come along every single day because this is even more rare than a no-hitter. It is absolutely wild to see somebody just absolutely perfect. The complete game, because this means no walks, no hits, and you don't even allow a base runner. It's really incredible. And an experience like this is something that he will not forget for his life. And he's going to be in the record books for the rest of his life and even more. So what a night for Domingo Germán. Like you said, I don't think a lot of people saw this coming. I know you can sit and say, well, it's the Oakland A's, but still, to be absolutely perfect through 9 frames is something incredible. And nobody can, look down on that, even if it is against the A's.
Oh, no question about it. And this was his first ever complete game. So it's not like this is a guy who generally goes deep into ball games anyway. And you heard during the highlight, the 4th Yankee to ever accomplish that feat. He joins Don Larson in 1956, David Wells in 1998, David Cohn in 1999. He also strikes out 9 and during the game surpasses 500 strikeouts for his career. And I have to say, I'm not a Yankees fan, but there is something special when a Yankee does it because of the history involved.
Oh, for sure. Because you join the ranks of some really historic names and some really iconic players. And also the fact that we've seen this trend in recent history where we'll see no-hitters, but they're like combined no-hitters, or it's like a team no-hitter. So the fact that he did this all by himself just makes it even more impressive in an era where guys just don't go full games anymore. And he did this on 99 pitches, which if you throw a perfect game, you have to be pretty efficient. But still, the efficiency and the perfection at work here was nothing short of a perfect game. So what a feat for the Yankees. It sounds like this girl is just a little selfish and only wants to do what she wants to do. And I quote, "My boyfriend and I typically share interests in-depth top shelf analysis, me getting massages, or at least try to get into what the other person loves. This year, he started watching Summer House with me. And by the end of the season of Vanderpump Rules, he was able to sort his Lalas from his Arianas." So it sounds like this guy does only things that this girl likes. And let me reiterate, they watch the show together. So I still don't get what her complaint is. He just quotes the show too much?
And also, didn't you just say that he sat through Vanderpump Rules with you and discussed it with you?
And Summer House.
This guy's doing the Lord's work. I couldn't do that.
Right.
What if you turned it around and I wrote an article that said something like, I really don't get Vanderpump Rules. My girlfriend is always going around quoting the show. Why can't we do things that we both like to do, like watch football while she rubs my feet? You'd be like, this guy's a jerk. If this were a guy that wrote this article, you would get canceled. They'd be like, what a chauvinist jerk. And then she's like, I just want my back rubbed. I want my back rubbed while we talk about Top Chef. And then after this, Vanderpump Rules time, and I want to discuss this with him. Let's do the things that we like to do. You mean me? She wants to do what she wants to do. How is this? This is why I canceled my subscription. I used to subscribe to GQ, And I didn't cancel it because of this article, but this is one of the reasons why. I used to get GQ on a regular basis because I got a media discount. It was dirt cheap, and I canceled it about 2 months ago. And nonsense like this is why. And by the way, the reaction to this tweet from GQ was so awesome because all it was guys posting memes from I Think You Should Leave, like, what? Wait, what? I mean, it was so awesome. That was the best part about it. It was awesome.
Sometimes I hate the internet and sometimes I love the internet because she was so mad about the incessant quoting of I Think You Should Leave, but then she gets thousands of responses, thousands that are just memes of I Think You Should Leave. So congratulations. Now you have an entire notifications tab that's just I Think You Should Leave. So what's that quote from who is it? DJ Khaled is like, you played yourself. That's exactly what she did.
You played yourself. She played herself. Terrible.